Good afternoon, everybody, or good afternoon, nobody. We're back in Virtual Pool 4. The room has gone up. We're back for another round 2 match. Need to change the cloth colour between Spectredawn and Shaftrax. Default colour, we want to go to blue. Okay with that. So I'm first in the room. I don't know where Shaftrax is from, but I think he's been about Virtual Pool for a good number of years. Although I don't think I've actually seen him play. Spectredawn, well, we know he's a strong player, and well, we will make a judgment once we see Shaftrax play a few shots. Now, according to that, he's from the Philippines, so we do have a few Filipino players in Virtual Pool. So here we go with the lag for the break. Again, I think that is Spectredawn in the far left. I think he's the one with the green Q. I could be wrong. I think I might have seen it before. So we're going to lag for the break. It's a race to 14, it's a round 2 match. And well, I got that wrong because according to that, Shaftrax won it. It's 10 ball, it's a non-slop game. No flukes allowed, all combos and banks should be called. It's winner breaks, and there's no shot clock. No shot clock, no jump cues. There is a shot clock. It's 1 minute and a 1 minute extension, so plenty of time. And good afternoon. Just made it in time. I had to go out and do my weekly shot. So Spectredawn tried the combo, and Shaftrax is going to get the same choice here. Well, I've got 2 viewers, that's better than none. Welcome. Well, he didn't exactly make a great effort at that. So we've had matches coming thick and fast the past few days. We'll have a look at the bracket at some point just to remind us what's happening. Today's date's the 10th, if I'm right in saying. So we've got, I think, another good match lined up. Might be in a couple of days' time, but I'll remind myself in a little while. We'll have a look at the bracket. So Spectredawn with the opportunity to put the first rack in the board. But the judgment will be made on Shaftrax when he gets an open table and a shot as to how good he's going to be at running the table and whether he's going to pose a threat to Spectredawn. Spectredawn will be thinking the same thing as to what sort of liberties he might take during this match, depending on whether he feels his opponent is going to offer much of a threat. And we won't know that until we see. But Spectredawn's going to be off the mark. I'll be honest with you, I could have went out shopping earlier today, but I spent about 2 hours or more this morning installing a big map combo in Eurotruck, which I've just eventually got it working and started a trip, just a very short trip, because I've got a mod installed to give me money. So once I've got that done, I'll be able to buy my truck. But it's another big map combo. That took most of the morning to do that. downloading files, etc. So here we go. This is what we're waiting on to see how good Shaftrax is going to be at taking this chance. And straight away, too much juice in that, going past the 2. He's now going to have to play a difficult cut. So 14-6 is the semi-pro prediction. Well, the 2-ball cut was quite good. Shouldn't have a problem with the 3, but the big problem's the 5. And he has to make a decision on what he's going to do here, because I mean, if he gets in a certain position, he could draw up the table and try and play the 5 down into this bottom left. The chances are it could be the combo, but he has to make that choice. Well, I'd be digging down a bit to try and stun across. Unless he wants to run up and try and play the bank. Well, that's not going to get there. But that may well actually cut in dead weight. It's just going to go on the rim of that pocket and drop in. And that will do. Now, what problems we've got here? Well, there isn't a problem with the 9. It's getting there off this 8. And immediately out of line again. If he plays the reverse bank down into this left hand corner pocket, he needs to watch the scratch. And the other problem is he's not going to get on the 9. But looks as if he's lining up the cut. This is going to be tough. Well, what a shot. It's not a conventional way to do a run out, getting out of line and have to dig out these shots, but it's going to have to be another one. And as I keep saying, sooner or later you're going to run out of shots. Well, you knew it was going to happen at some point. So the positional play is going to be crucial. And it's all very well Shaftrax have been done a lot of the hard work there, digging himself out a hole once or twice, but all the time Spectredawn's just sitting there ready to pick up the scraps, and it's 2-0. So a 2-ball is safe on the rail. That's doing nothing there. What's Sky Bitter doing, sitting in the room and then chatting? Get him in the stream, and then he can do all his chatting. Well, Shaftrax pushing the boat out for a combo here, but again, no real value in it. I thought he was calling the combo there, he was calling the cut. I was too busy looking at that chat. But the value, of course, wouldn't have been any good to him, considering where the 2 is. That cue ball's going to spin in behind the 7 and 4. And Shaftrax is going to kick, well, should kick short off that top rail. looked as if he'd got away with it, but again, it's not an issue at the moment, because Spectredawn, well, if he pushes through to the rail, he's going to have a go at a 2-8 combo, because I don't know whether that 2 is going to drop in. Let's have a closer look at it. No, that's not going to go in there. So the combo will be called. Yeah, it is distracting. You know, your eyes are on the screen, especially if you're a player, your eyes are on the screen, and all of a sudden your peripheral vision catches the chat going up because somebody's typing stuff. Well, the 2, how does that look? That'll go. So the lifeline is going to be the 4 ball locked up next to the 7. And that's not a bad safety. Shaftrax in trouble again. Now what he doesn't want to do is break out the 4 by banging at this ball and letting it run. That's the safest way to go. End rail to kick the 3 and call that bottom pocket just in case, but certainly don't go anywhere near the 4. Well, that wasn't, I don't know whether it was, I mean, I presume the line was there, and you can actually create the line to the 3 ball with a bit of left English to straighten the cue ball up. If you don't think you have the angle from there, you can make it. So with ball in hand, Spectredawn has broke the 4, and well, provided he can get on the 6. No, you can't hide the chat box. If you hit your control button, your left control and your down arrow, you can shrink it down to one line like that, or you can go like this and really annoy people by doing that and have a huge chat window. So left control button, and then use your down arrow. You know, you've got an up and a down and a left and a right arrow, and if you I'll say that again, if you use the down arrow, you can shrink it down to one line, as small as that. Well, Spectredawn is, I don't know whether he, I mean, I presume he played to get that cue ball there, but he's taken his eye off the ball in the 7, and it's going to have to be a bank for that right middle pocket. Nothing's been called yet. No, not a great deal of thought went into that shot. I mean, the bank wasn't set, it had to be made, but that to me that was your best chance of getting out, is having a go at it. But in the end he played nothing. I think he tried to cut it down the rail and was nowhere near it. So provided Spectredawn can get himself out, and that'll be reasonable enough. It's going to be 3-0. And I think I don't think Spectredawn's going to be too worried, in all honesty, from what he's seen so far. Things I keep talking about every time is the guy that you're playing going to be a player that uses his head, plays sensibly, concede the fact that you're going to be the underdog, concede the fact that the other guy is better at moving the cue ball than you. So what you have to do is use what you do have and that's common sense. And common sense is a great thing if you use it and play sensibly. It can still keep you in a match. If the other guy, who's the stronger guy, starts taking liberties, then you then have to take the chances that you get by using a bit of concentration, taking your time. Again, I doubt very much whether Shaftrax is aware of what the shot clock is, or what the length of it is, I should say. But he's trailing 3-0. And well, this chance that he has here, he's got too much angle in the 3, and this could either go right or wrong, as long as he gets the pace into it to come across, and it needs to slow down, and that isn't bad. Now he's going to have to be extremely gentle here, because if that just squirts too high, he won't be able to make the angle in the 5 to pot it. I think he's okay, but doesn't need to worry about the 6 as long as he can see it. It's hanging over the pocket. It's all about the pot. I think the angle's there. Oh, it wiped its feet. It's going to be a missed call though, and he's going to get put back in. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, WizKid. Good afternoon, Moz. And Shaftrax has been put back in, I presume. And nobody yet has tried to jump a ball. So the kick is missed. And well, I'm beginning to get worried as to whether Shaftrax is going to stay all the way in this match. There's a certain point where these guys are going to get a bit demoralised and wonder whether they're ever going to win a rack in the match, and may well not have the stomach for it, because it's looking very likely an odds-on certainty, unless Spectredawn does a Cobra, because this is the 10 ball that Cobra had and he couldn't get it in the hole. But it is 4-0. Well, the first shot that Shaftrax has got is not very easy. It's about judging the pace of the cue ball again. He's done that well, and this is the one that may well catch him out. We'll judge the drawback here. Yeah, didn't hit it firm enough to get that little draw. Ended up just playing a stun shot, so he's got the wrong angle in the 3. 4's up the top end of the table, so if he's going to take his medicine, then he'll do his best to pot the 3 and then look for a half decent safety in the 4. Well, he's got lucky. He needs a bit of help. here's the opportunity has come for Spectredawn. He's going to be taking it long, I would think, because that's just going to let him fall onto the 4, but he's way off the mark. So another opportunity for Shaftrax, and if he gets the 3 and the 4, he's going to have to get right round the angles. Now he has the angle to do it. The angle is there. As long as you come off there, 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 and here, you'll have a shot in that 5 ball. And that's just going to finish not too bad, because the angle that he's got, if he plays this right, he's just going to run into the 7, not too hard, and it will hold for the 6. Again, is he going to be able to follow this through? Because the 8 ball's going to be the issue. Again, he seems to want to draw. He's got it. This could be dangerous. The angle he's got in the 7 if he goes for the big draw. Let's come out. Still okay. Almost there. No, you can't do that. You can only do what I've just showed you there. It's just use the left control button and the arrow down to shrink it to 1 line. Well, the chance is gone again, and that's the main failing of too many players, that they cannot string enough balls together to take a rack out. And each time Shaftrax is getting that opportunity, you're thinking, well, it's just a matter of time before the mistake is made. And again, Spectredawn just comes in, it's picking up the pieces again, and it's 5-0. Cue ball, thinking of going in. I presume Skybitter hasn't joined us. He didn't take up the invitation then, although it says he's left the room. And if he is in the stream, he's gone all shy. Yeah, I think he's bottled out. Little billiard onto the 4. Once again, these balls are all there. The 9 behind the 10 there, the 8 in the bottom rail, I mean, they're all adjacent, which means you don't have to move the cue ball very far, but once again, way short to get on this 3 ball, and really either all out for the cut, but no thought of a safety at all. And this is what I talk about players being one-dimensional. You know, it was a low percentage cut, that 3 ball, and it would have been far better to try and get it safe, but not just feeling desperate to try and make everything. I just wish players would use their head. Well, that one's worked. Not difficult to hit. Well, he has called the 8, and that's worked. Well, this will be sore for Shaftrax again. Again, he just needs to focus on the pot here, Spectredawn, because he's on the 5 regardless. And the only way this will go wrong is going forward and around and hooking himself behind the 10, so he's left it well short of that. And now the gap between the 9 and 10, unless he can go forward with a bit of check. You see, that's how it's went straight. You see, he's left the, well, that's worse than a bedhead cut, that one. This, you have to get it right on the edge, but I don't think he's going to be taking it on, or is he? No, again, he's doing the sensible thing. He's left the invitation to the bank. Now Shaftrax hasn't called anything yet. Now once again, that's the reason why he's going all out for a cut, and I think that's his last shot this rack. Yep. Remember what I said the other night as well, you know, when you are trailing or struggling to get into a match or get off to a start and win a rack, is not to get desperate, but there's signs of desperation here just to actually keep potting balls. So it's 6-0, and well, Shaftrax is looking for an awful lot of help here, but he's not going to get much. And a lot of this is self-inflicted damage by not being able to come through on a few of the chances he's had. Again, I keep in defence of Shaftrax. I mean, we don't know the circumstances, we don't know the age group, male or female, we don't know that, but he's certainly way out of his depth here. Well, that's a nice little couple of cannons, pushing the 4-ball well into play. 5-ball is going to be the issue immediately. Now, is he going to get cocky and just draw up and stun onto the rail and try and play a 5-10 combo? No, he's going inside, trying to squeeze across for the middle. That will do. So Spectredawn not taking any liberties, doing the right thing. And that's 7-ball. Let's have a quick look from this side. Yes, it goes. He's having a look. Plenty of room, as long as he can get reasonably straight on it, which he should be able to do, although he's slightly the wrong side of the 6, but he's going around, and that should line him up pretty well. Oh, well, there's the mistake again, and having got onto that 7-ball, the chance has been thrown away, and it's deja vu again. How many times have we seen it already? The bits and pieces are being left by Shaftrax, and Spectredawn just doing the necessary. Do you want to do you want to reassess your match predictions, semi-pro? You're allowed to review the situation. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that myself. I mean, in all honesty, the way it's looking, the only way Shaftrax is going to get a rack here is if Spectredawn gets awkward on the 10 and leaves it hanging or something like that. That's the only way he's going to get a rack. I can't see any other way he's going to get one. But it's just all going to be a matter of time. Usually, you know, in a match over this sort of distance, you may well expect something to happen that's going to give Shaftrax a rack. Spectredawn playing for the 5, but using cover of those 3 balls to block that 3 ball. And it's up on the left side of the 5. Now that's too much angle, I think, what he's doing there. In my eyes, at first glance, he's going too far right, because he's going to then go into the rail first. You see that immediately the little voice in my head there tells me that wasn't right. Trying to get that angle from the end rail. You knew fair well that the line he took, he was going to go straight into the side rail first before he got anywhere near the object ball. Well, it's just going to be a little gentle roll, but with enough angle left on this 8 ball just to come up the table. Now this is where it could go wrong. And that's going to go way short, but I'm afraid Shaftrax is going to be buried here in a minute. No prizes for guessing what's going to happen here. And that's exactly what you should do. Don't take the risk of going for banks. Doesn't matter what the score is. When that opportunity is there to lock your opponent up, then that's exactly what you do. And having the ball tight, again, is the golden rule. If you have it tight, you narrow down a lot of available angles. And Shaftrax didn't call a pocket. Yeah, Potman needs to get his touch sorted out. So here might be the chance for Shaftrax. Not an easy 10 ball for Spectredawn. He's making sure and having a good look at it. But it might be an opportunity. But the opportunity's gone. It's now 8-0 and... well, I think we live in hope that Shaftrax at least wins a rack. 10 ball goes in the break as well, gets respotted. And the 1 ball has gone, and I think he's lying on the 2, is he? Now is he trying to kick it in? I don't think he can get to the potting angle. If the 9 goes in and he pots the 10, how does that work? What are you talking about? Well, any ball that goes in, the 10 gets respotted on the break if the 10 ball goes down. But anywhere else in 10 ball, it's all about the object ball that you're playing. or whether you're playing a billiard or a combo, you're going to be calling the ball that you're wanting to go into the hole. No, if they're playing it by the rules, the way 10 ball set up in VP4, it's a forced call on the 10 ball. But we are relying on players to abide by the rules of 10 ball, which is it's a call shot game, end of story. And if by some means or other they call a ball into a pocket and it goes into another pocket, then the game of course will automatically call the miscall, provided you called it in the first place. But we haven't seen any issues. I think pretty much all the players are aware of what's expected of them when they're playing 10 ball. Well, when you say if he flukes the 9, if he flukes the 9 and he didn't call the 9, then he has to miscall it manually with Control and M. There's no such thing as flukes in 10 ball, period. So if a ball goes in that you didn't call, if 2 balls go in but the ball you called goes in to the pocket that you called, then it doesn't matter. I mean, another 5 balls could get into different pockets. It doesn't matter as long as the one you called goes into the pocket you called. That's fine. So it's 9-0 to Spectredawn. Shaftrax has played the push, but once again not a great deal of thoughts went into it. Spectredawn could have him in trouble here. Well, he's going to play the billiard, catch the edge of the 1 and chip the 8. Good afternoon, Bedhead. LO adds loads. Combo was called. Sitting not too bad on the 1. Delicate little shot just to leave him some sort of shot in the 3. Well, there's a mistake from Spectredawn, and Shaftrax has yet another chance here to try and run some balls. That's going to go past the 9. If it slows up, he's okay. Now play safe and leave it in the middle of the table for the 7, but he's missed a 6 and he's got away with it. Unless Spectredawn, well, again, not taking any risk. But now here's another really thin cut down the rail where Shaftrax should be just playing safe. A dead weight negative safety rolling onto the 6 should be the shot for him to keep it safe, but he's going all out for the cut again, you see. And look where he finished for the 7. Not the way to go about it, I'm afraid. And again, I think he's just going to try the cut. He's going to keep doing it till he gets one, but he's running out of racks. Well, this time he's got it, and he's on the 7, and won't get a better chance than this to get a rack on the board. But once again, failing in the cut, and I think Spectredawn will be all out for the bank this time. Good bank on this 7, and he should be on the 8. Not risking it, trying to lock it up behind the 10, and his left Shaftrax another shot. So here's another bite at the cherry. If he can get past that 10, well, he can't, so he is snookered. And again, didn't call a pocket. If he had made that angle there and potted it, it would have had to have been a missed call. I mean, the guys from the Philippines, is hardly unlikely that he's going to understand if somebody tries to tell him what he should be doing. He probably doesn't speak English. So Shaftrax has had 2 chances, they're both gone, and this is the last chance for Shaftrax in this rack if Spectredawn can't get good in the 10. He probably does. Well, somebody should tell him to start calling pockets then. But it's now double figures for Spectredawn, just 4 away. And well, I think this will be Spectredawn's last comfortable match in this tournament, because he's going to run into heavy transport in the next rounds. I'm using a Eurotruck simulator connotation there. Well, what I'm not doing is speaking Scottish. If I was speaking Scottish, you wouldn't understand me. Or I should actually correct myself there. I could be speaking Ayrshire. There's quite a few different dialects in Scotland. Well, I think before you guys get bored and let this match finish, I think we should have a look at the bracket. We'll see if Shaftrax can get any joy here. Whereabouts are you from again, Ross? Whereabouts in Scotland? You need to remind me. Or I should say, whereabouts are you, Faye? Oh dear, it's gone again. Right, I think now's the time to have a look. Let's just have a refresher here so we know where we are in this tournament. We've got Moz set to play Jose, and that'll be tomorrow night at 11:15. You're not from Ayrshire, are you? Are you winding me up? 11:15. Whereabouts in Glasgow are you, Faye? And then Albanario, of course, with his, well, probably the most impressive player in the tournament so far, Albanario. A really strong 14-3 victory over Mr. Bill, and well, he's going to be playing the winner of Moz and Jose, and it really should be Moz in that tie, so that's going to be a tough one. We've then got Acero and Larry lined up to play in a few days' time. I'll have that one. That's going to be what, 3 PM my time. And we've also then got Semi-Pro and Bedhead. And again, just a reminder, these guys have got until the 21st of the month, so there's no race to get the thing done. There's plenty of time for these matches to be arranged. We've got LS3 waiting on the winner of Interchange X and Stub, and they're running out of time. They're going to have to get something sorted out, and I probably don't have that. You were in Kilmarnock. Whereabouts in Kilmarnock were you? We've got Mooncake set to play Sergaresh in a few days' time. We've got the match that's on at the moment, and the winner of this match is going to play Bankster. And then Sky Bitter is through to round 3, waiting to play the winner of Sargo and Joba. That could end up a what do you call it, a forfeit and somebody getting advanced, and then Sky Bitter may well get another forfeit. I'm wondering whether any of these guys will turn up. I think Jover's been here once or twice. I've never seen Sargo. Hazard is through to play Party Marty, and that's it. So let's go back, see how things are going. Well, nothing's improved. Well, any time any time after, well, for the next 3 days, right, they've extended my working hours by half an hour, so I'm working till 12:30 on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday I'm working till 2 o'clock. I'm always to 2 o'clock on a Monday, so that at 6 o'clock at night is fine. Even if the match does go 2 hours or so, it's still only 8 o'clock at night, and I can go to my bed at 10. Well, that would be fine, not a problem. I missed that response there, Ross, if you did respond. I was asking where were you faring Kilmarnock? Well, this match, how long has it been on? It started at the top of the hour. We are 49 minutes into it. Oh, there's Sky Bitter arrived. I never noticed. Welcome. Yeah, you can do all your chatting in here rather than in the room. Well, Spectredawn can try squeezing the 4 and cheating it down the rail, but it's far easier just to, well, he could have played that better. Let's be honest, that was poor, because he's not even got to the 4, to the 6, so that was, although he hit a rail, that was a pot man shot. He bottled out and getting it nailed to the 6 there, but I don't think he's really that worried. Ah, you had to wait 30 minutes. That isn't anything that I've set. That is, I mean, it probably is a setting in Twitch. I've never looked. I'm going to have to look at Twitch a bit more. Well, I think we've all got our fingers crossed for Shaftrax here. Oh dear, this is going to go wrong as well, unless he squirts out past that 9 and doesn't scratch. Oh! Well, this is a one. He's got nothing to do but make sure he rolls the 9 in with a wee bit of pace, not too much, just so that the cue ball comes out, and that'll do. Well, now he's got a dilemma. It's a gentle roll into the middle, or he plays it long. And in it goes, and the cheers go up. Shaftrax has got a rack in the board, thank God for that. You lived in Wardnewk? That's over the back door from me. Whereabouts in Wardnewk? Was it Devar Drive? Which is the one that's immediately over my back door. Collinsy Place? Because they're all named after the Scottish Islands and places like that over there. Devar Drive, just over the back door from me. I'm sitting facing Devar Drive right now. My PC's against a wall, which is then facing the houses that are over in Devar Drive. Well, I mean, it used to be that Wardnewk was the furthest north in Kilmarnock. It certainly isn't now. There's a whole pile of houses beyond Wardnewk. But more importantly here, Shaftrax has got rid of the bagel, as they say in the States. And he's got a rack on the board, which we're all glad of. But now it's the 1-8 combo. Whereabouts is Langside in Glasgow? I haven't a clue where that is in Glasgow. Oh, this is going to hook. Is it? Oh no, he's on the 3. What am I talking about? I'm too busy reading. Well, south side of Glasgow, I mean, that's anywhere. South side, as far as I'm concerned, starts in Newton Mearns, and then, well, which isn't even in Glasgow yet. That's Greater Glasgow, but and then you've got Pollock Shaws, Pollock Shields, because that's where I go every day when I'm going to work, down to Silverburn. Shawlands, aye. Well, that's new. Well, Shawlands is where you turn right to go to Hampden. So you off the Kilmarnock Road, because that's the Kilmarnock Road that runs through Shawlands up to Newton Mearns. So Spectredawn. Aye, as you're driving into Glasgow, Queen's Park's on the right hand side. I'm assuming it still is and it hasn't moved. Well, a nasty little cut, lots of draw to avoid scratching, but I think he's going to have too much and end up scratching. Well, Shaftrax, help yourself to a second rack. Well, it's going to be 2 racks in the board for Shaftrax, and that's exactly the situation that I talked about earlier. It's going to have to be mistakes on the 9 or the 10 to give him a chance, and at least he's got 2. Good afternoon, Keith. I'm afraid it's a bit of a bloodbath, and well, if you're just late joining us, according to Semi-Pro, he's arranged his match with Bedhead for tomorrow night at 6 o'clock or round about then, and I will be there for that one. Oh, Parliament's woke up as well. All we need now is Stubb joining us, and then it's alright, Nuthouse. Oh, that's always its yes, working eyes, working. What's he doing? He's sitting in his bloody PC playing VP4. What's a consippery? What's a consipperies? Well, what's happened here? Spectredawn played a foul. Don't know what he did, but Shaftrax back at the table. It's going to be difficult. That 8 ball is in the awkward spot, but will he get that far? That needs to keep rolling. Missed the 10. He's gone short. Well, I don't know whether he can cut this and run into the 8. I think he can if he's not doing it, but he's drawn the cue ball. I would take the risk and run into the 8, but playing a big draw, he's going to have a slim chance of getting on the 8 doing that. I would just let it run. Yeah, well, that was doomed to disaster, wasn't it? I mean, at that angle, you don't want to be playing a draw. You're just helping the cue ball straight into the hole. Good afternoon, Jose. Well, we won't be here long because this match is all but over. And again, just a poor choice of shot by Shaftrax. Should have just let it run and taken the risk of nudging that 8 ball. He might have got lucky. And all he's done is done what he's done most of the match, is leave a little untidy mess here for Spectredawn to pick off. But this is another tester. By the way, Keith, I don't know whether you heard as well, but last night I said in the stream I went to actually look at the Virtual Pool 3 Wikipedia, and some buggers deleted the tournament, you know, the big tournament history that was on it. So all the years have gone, and I was looking to see what to remind myself of what Albie had won. Oh, I think Albie's got a better all-round performance, because Albie can play good 3 cushion as well, and you're not a 3 cushion player, Keith. You don't make the grade for that. Albie will play any game and be good at it. I think you're just it's about knowing your limitations. No, I think Albie's is good at a lot of games. And he certainly he showed he hasn't lost any class. Well, I looked and I could not find it. I looked, because usually when you scroll down in Wikipedia, the thing is there's that bracket or that grid that shows you, and I couldn't see it, and I was opening up extra drop downs, could not find it. Anyway, it's now 12-2 to Spectredawn. Shaftrax once again. All you do is, if you just actually go to Google and type in Virtual Pool 3, it's the first thing in the list. I never thought about page history. Well, it's that I need to look at, because it certainly wasn't there when I looked at the opening page. Now there's a very, very narrow gap, and this 5 ball, well, I mean, being honest, it will go, but it is so tough a cut, this 5 ball. There is no room to manoeuvre. Now the cue ball has gone safe. And once again, I've got no doubt that Shaftrax is just going to see this ball and it has to be cut. It is still there. Yeah, but Albie hasn't won anything on VP4 yet, as far as I remember, whereas Keith has. And I think I mean, I can't remember. There's been other so-called championships that weren't logged anywhere. There's no record of them, unless there's been other things on here that I've missed. Anyway, Spectredawn, looking at the potting angle on a 7. Yeah, but again, was that the first one they did? A bit like a race to 4 or something. Well, it's actually, this is probably like, that is a good point, that it is a bit like real life, that there's not really a lot of good quality Virtual Pool 4 players coming here. You know why that is? Albi's dragging them all over to Shooter's Pool, that's why. See, there should be a page on the VP4 site to actually log these championships. You know, a specific page where it tells you the winner of this. No, it doesn't matter of any of the rest of the tournaments. It's the ones that are listed as championships should be a page that you should be able to go to and check who's won what over the years. That's another thing that's missing. So, Spectredawn within 1. Shaftrax once again going for the cut, and it could be his last shot. No, Virtual Pool 4 is for the connoisseur, as far as either learning the shots or bringing what you have learned, or going through the long learning process, which quite a few have done over the years. And there's a lot of players, what I keep saying is they want instant gratification, instant satisfaction. They want a game that's going to allow them to set all the, in fact, again, that's why more of them play it offline than they do online. Online scares them, where they don't have ghost ball, they don't have tracking lines, and they're not playing against some half-witted AI player who bangs balls and pots them from the lampshades as well. There's no sort of intermediary in the AI in VP4. They're either absolutely crap, or you think you played a good safety, and the next thing you know, bang, the ball's in the hole. But a lot of them do play those crappy top-down games. That one in Facebook, there's thousands play it. There's a guy who streams the stuff, and there's thousands watch him streaming it. Unbelievable. I mean, I don't see where the thrill is in that, in actually playing a pool game which is only two-dimensional and it's all top-down. Yahoo Pool and all of that rubbish. But again, as I say, that's the folk that don't want to have to think an awful lot about what they're doing. All they do is just, you know, turn their mouse until the little line is lined up with the object ball, and then hit the ball and it goes in a hole. That's what they like. Whereas having a bit of knowledge and a bit of skill is what this game requires if you're going to get better at it and you're going to be competitive, and it frightens a lot of people. So Spectredawn probably going to leave. Well, this is a tough cut because there's only half a pocket. He could play the billiard and ride his luck, or he can go all out for the thin cut. Yeah, he's going all out for it. He's managed to squeeze it in off the 8, and now probably the safety. Well, that's getting your your advertising sorted out. That is a lot to do with setting the marketing correctly. There's nothing been done like that for VP4, because I've never seen a VP4 ad. Well, Shaftrax has played his last shot now, because he's called the 10 and the 10's hanging, and Spectredawn will try and chip this with a bit of power to get the cut. The 10 has been called and this match is over, and so Spectredawn comfortably goes through to round 3 by 14 racks to 2. We've had a look at the bracket, guys. I'm going to sign off, say thanks for your company. In fact, see, before I go, we're just going to have a quick look just to verify that Bedhead and Semi-Pro are set for tomorrow night at 6 PM. So be there, and I'll be there ready for it, and I hope you can join us. So thanks for joining this afternoon, guys. Take care, stay safe, keep your distance, and I'll see you tomorrow.